Orlando CITYIntelligence report, Orlando City vs Atlanta United. Get up to speed on Atlanta United as Orlando City heads north to take on the Five Stripes. The last couple of games haven't gone the way that Orlando City fans would have hoped for, but there's no time like the present for getting things back on track. This weekend, the Lions will try to do exactly that as they travel north to take on Atlanta United. A match against the Five Stripes means that I caught up with Rob Usry. He and a few helping hands have started the independent site Five Stripe Final, where they continue to do excellent work covering Atlanta United. Be sure to go check out their new digs, and while you're there, take a peek at some of the questions they asked me about Orlando City. Atlanta had an offseason with a number of incoming and outgoing transfers. Who are some of the big arrivals and big departures? Rob Usry, the biggest departure is clearly Miles Robinson. Losing a two-time MLS Best XI center back and someone you drafted before you even played a match in this league is a tough pill to swallow. For whatever reasons, Miles preferred to sign elsewhere in free agency instead of returning despite getting an offer. One of the important incoming transfers made by Atlanta this offseason was an attempt to fill that void at center back. Stian Gregersen, a 6'4" Norwegian international, was brought in to start on the back line. The other marquee addition is Polish midfielder Bartosz Slis, a young and dynamic box-to-box player. The club also addressed its depth with some under-the-radar signings like Dax McCarty and Derek Williams, the latter of which has unexpectedly won a spot in the lineup early on. How have the new arrivals looked to start the season? Is there anyone in particular who Orlando fans should keep an eye on? With just 2 matches under their belts, it's hard to say for sure. The first match of the season, no one looked particularly comfortable. An away match against the defending champions will tend to do that. However, 3 of the new signings started and all looked tremendous in the 4-1 home opener win over New England. One to keep an eye on for any opposing team has to be Bartosz Slis. He's a holding midfielder that Atlanta United have been lacking since Darlington Nagbe left. He's technical and intelligent. Against the Revs, he tallied a crazy 8 recoveries in the midfield and helped pin them in their own end. If he settles in and helps Atlanta dominate in the midfield, it's going to be a long day for any opponent. It's very early in the season, but what are your expectations for Atlanta this year? How far do you think the team can go? It's no secret that Atlanta United fell off from the heights they reached in 2018 and 2019. It's been a long road back, but we're starting to see legitimate signs that the club is on the right track. I believe they can compete for a top 4 spot in the East this season and perhaps challenge for a trophy of some sort, like the US Open Cup or Leagues Cup. A lot will depend on how the summer goes and if they can hang on to Thiago Almada or not. Are there any players who will be unavailable due to injury, suspension, call-ups, etc.? What is your projected starting 11 and score prediction? Stunningly, the squad has been injury-free to start the season. The official injury report before the Revs match literally said that every player was available for selection. Unless some unknown injury came about, it should remain the same for this match. Gonzalo Pineda doesn't touch the lineup unless the team is struggling or he's forced to. So, we'll likely see the same lineup as we saw the first 2 matches of the season. Brad Guzan, Caleb Wiley, Derek Williams, Stian Gregersen, Brooks Lennon, Tristan Muyumba, Bartosz Slis, Zan Silva, Thiago Almada, Saba Lobjanids, Georgios Giacomakis. Score prediction: I reckon it'll be a fun, back-and-forth game with some goals in it. Atlanta grabs a late goal to put it out of reach. 3-1 Atlanta United. Thank you to Rob for the helpful insight into Atlanta. Vamos Orlando!